Hiya folks, Sandro here with more cartoon news and shenanigans. And if you'd like more cartoon news and shenanigans, I'd ask you to please subscribe to my channel. In fact, do it right now so you don't forget about it later. And I thank you very much for that. We are on the road to 1,000. And we're going to get there one day at a time. Anyways, so today, instead of I guess it's a cartoon news again. I'm just going to talk about Solar Opposites Season 2. So I just wanted to bring you guys the news that Solar Opposites Season 2 is out, just in case you guys were wondering. I did binge last night at like 2 a.m. I stayed up till 2 a.m. I binge watched the whole season. It's actually very short. It's there's 8 episodes. There's 8 of them in total, and they're 20 minutes long. So that's about 2 hours. It'll take you just under 3 hours to watch the whole season nonstop, assuming you don't go for any bathroom breaks or whatever. Anyway, I binge watched the whole season. I thought it was actually pretty good. But like honestly, here's my problem. Look, I like this show. I like that it exists. I think it's a good show. I don't think it's a great show. You know what I mean? I feel like this show just feels like sidekick Rick and Morty. This show feels like a Cleveland show. You know what I mean? Like it's like Rick and Morty is the main enchilada, while Solar Opposites is kind of like a lesser version, but it's still okay. So this feels like another Cleveland show, even though it's not a spin-off. It's not a spin-off, right? But like it still feels like the Cleveland show or American Dad, where it's kind of like well, American Dad's its own. I don't know. I feel like that's a different American Dad feels like it actually carved out its own like fan base, where it's like this show kind of like feels like if you're a fan of Rick and Morty, you'll just watch this one just because, you know what I mean? So yeah, my thoughts on it were it was a good season. Did I like the original season more? Yes. I think the first season was a lot better. So the way this show goes, it's very interesting. So some shows, there's some shows that have an A plot and a B plot, and some shows even have a C plot, right? So in Family Guy, for example, they'll have an episode where like Peter is doing something at the brewery, right? Peter works at at a brewery. And then they'll have like Meg and Lois going on vacation, and there'll be a story where Meg and Lois will be on vacation. And then they'll have a story with Stewie and Brian, and maybe some of the stories will interconnect to each other. So that's like an A plot, a B plot, and a C plot. This show is very interesting because it has now, not every episode has the B plot, but this story segregates itself into 2 kind of stories, right? So it's mostly about the alien family, but also, I can't remember the kid's name. See this kid right here, the little blue kid there. I can't remember his name for whatever reason, but he has a wall where he puts a bunch of shrunken down humans, and that was if you guys have seen the first season of this show, I recommend it. Like I said, if you ask me, if you put it like a gun to my head and we're like, Sandro, which one is these 2 is better, I would tell you to go watch Rick and Morty and just skip this show. But it's decent. Like it's decent. It made me laugh, which is always great. So yeah, this show's good, but it's not great. It's just not a great show. And yeah, so the main thing in the first season, it was really cool. There was this like, they put the humans in the wall, and there was this war, and there was this character named the Duke, and then there was this whole betrayal, and it was really exciting, you know? It was a really, really exciting story. And this season, so I'm going to spoil it for you, right? I'm going to spoil it for you. It starts out with the black guy. Honestly, the Bones, the guy who was like the writer for Bones, he's in there shrunken down. Let me just grab a water really quick. Anyway, yeah. So the guy from Bones, the black guy from Bones, He gets, he was shrunken down already in the previous season, and the story follows from his perspective. Um, and I just didn't find it. It wasn't as good. It just wasn't as good. It was weird. It was like the first season felt like this actual battle. There was this whole like awesome. I don't know. It was just so exciting. I wanted to watch the next episode. This season was kind of like, here's an extra story. It didn't feel like it was all that exciting. It was kind of like they kind of made it out to be a murder mystery where it was like, oh, somebody, did a cricket kill this guy, or did, was it something more? Was there some kind of like, scheme? Is there some kind of serial killer? Yeah, it ends up, it was a serial killer who, I can't remember the guy who replaces the Duke, the white guy from like the last season. Yeah, that guy. the main, what is his name? I don't remember, but he has a beard. He kind of looks like a hippie. That guy ends up being like the main ruler after the Duke falls. And then we find out like all this bullshit. Like apparently, the main redhead from the first season survives. And it was just, what was her name? No, I can't remember. I can't remember any of the names, and I just fucking watched this show. Yeah, they're all wearing masks. They're having a celebration for her. It was just so, it wasn't good. It just wasn't good. The first season, really good. It was this like political thing. It was like this really exciting story. It's like shrunken down humans. What are they going to do? How's their world going to differ from when they were large? It was exciting. It was fresh. It was kind of weird. This season, they just continue. It just felt like they ran out of ideas. They went for this murder mystery plot. And then all of a sudden, it was like all the characters who apparently died in the first, season, they all lived. Everybody, like a person literally got stabbed through the chest and was able to live. Like, and they even fell off of a wall. And then a couple days later, even like days later, they just wake up alive. I don't know. I don't believe it. I think she would have bled out. I really do. And then it gets worse too. It gets so worse. The Duke is all, well, I mean, the Duke being alive, I could see it. I thought the Duke would have like gone out somewhere, or like he would have, I don't know. I feel like the Duke would have ventured out to somewhere cool. And maybe he would have got like cameras and TVs on him, like telling that, hey, the solar opposites shrunk me, or like they could have did so many stories with the Duke, but then he just didn't actually leave the lawn. It was so stupid. So the Duke doesn't leave the lawn. He and the redhead end up having a little bit of a friendship there. It wasn't romantic or anything, but so then she even gives birth. In the first season, there was actually this really funny sex scene, and so she ended up being pregnant, and oh man, it was just. And then she has a baby while she's wounded, and her leg is damaged, and oh my god! And it was ridiculous. It was like unbelievable as hell. Like it's like she literally gave birth inside of a Pez machine, inside of a Pez candy dispenser. Pez little dispenser there. It was not good. The B story, the little B story of the shrunken people was not good. I didn't think it was good. Maybe you guys tell me in the comments down below if you binge watched the whole season. Let me know your thoughts on the B story about the shrunken people. And they leave it on a cliffhanger. Do we really need more of the shrunken people? I guess. This reminds me of Arrow, right? Arrow, if you guys have ever seen Arrow. Arrow would do the thing where they would do the present. Here's all this story going on in the present. And then they skip back in time to when Oliver Queen was on the island. And it got so boring. Like the first season, it was really cool. It's like, okay, here's what Oliver Queen was doing on the island. Then season 2 happens. It's like, okay, we're getting more of the island, okay. And then season 3, you're like, okay, enough with the island already. We get it. How many stories could there possibly have been on the goddamn island? And then season 4, and then season 5, and then finally, eventually, they just stopped doing the flashbacks to the goddamn island because people were sick of it. So this is a problem this show has. The B plot is just it's just not as good as it was. Maybe they'll try something different next season. I don't know, but the B plot wasn't good. The alien stories, some of them were good. Some of them were really random. This was the randomest episode. So they got lost in a forest. They basically were going to kill their children because they realized that they summer camp, right? They had to spend 3 months alone with the children. So they're like, hey, and then they realize, oh, they could just drop their kids off at summer camp. And then they get lost in the forest. Then they create a like civilization of like flower people and stuff, and or like forest people. Like some people were rocks, and that storyline was like everywhere. Like that storyline was like all over. That was one of the like. It's a memorable episode, but like it was not good. It was too everywhere. And I think one of the other things I'll say is that they made way too many jokes about Hulu. The first episode, I think, was one of the better ones because we get to see a different alien family, which is not what we've seen so far. That was a really interesting one. I think that one was the best. But then they make a joke, like they cut to a sticky note in real life, and it's like, ask Hulu for $1 million so we can make a really cool battle scene, and they just kind of like skip the whole battle scene where it could have been really cool. It could have been a really cool battle scene. So there was that one. Oh, I also see this here. See this little red guy here? This is, and then there was that episode about the dinner party. That was stupid also. I didn't like the dinner party one. Was probably the worst episode of the season. Was the dinner party one the one with the red guy? This guy was from the first season. You guys might remember. Whenever these creatures get like sweaty, or I can't remember whenever they get panicked, little like creatures fly off their head, and then if they get too stressed out, this little like red creature comes out, and he turns out he was still alive. Well, I mean, everybody in the first season apparently like lives randomly. So yeah. And let me see what other episodes were there. So this was a good episode. The Earth Eraser, which one was this one again? Jesse's not. Let the whole family come. And then it's the shrunk down stuff. Transforms all the while. Oh, this was the dinner party one. Yeah, okay. The dinner party one just wasn't great. I didn't like that. Was probably one of the weakest episodes. The Earth Eraser, that was a weak one. The Lake House device. This one was an interesting one. It had time travel related shenanigans, so I did enjoy that one. The Emergency Urbanizer. So this is the one I was just talking about. So they were going to go to summer camp, and then they end up getting lost. They end up creating like a forest civilization of like creatures with flowers, and there's like rock people and tree people, and there's animals everywhere. That was a memorable episode, but I thought it was just everywhere. The Rad Awesome Terrific Ray. The Red Goobler returns. So yeah, this is the return of that guy. I was just showing you there, the little the Red Goobler. He comes back. That was a really funny one. I liked that one. The Rad Awesome Terrific Ray. This is the one where she gets the wife gets turned into a rat. No, that was the same one, the Red Goobler. Yeah, and then his fiance gets turned into a rat, and that one, it was decent. It was decent. The Apple Pencil Pro, inside an Apple store, the family meet a pig monster. This was one of the okay. This one was a good one. The Apple Pencil Pro. I like that one. They go to jail because they created. I don't want to ruin it for you guys. I don't want to ruin like everything for you guys, but the Apple Pencil Pro was probably like one of my highlights of the season. The unlikely demise of Terry's favorite shot glass. This is the best episode probably. But like I said, it's so weird. It's like the girl, what was her name again? Sherry, that was her name. So she's the redhead. Like I said, she survives. It wasn't good. She lives getting stabbed through the chest. She lives with a broken leg. She lives the fall. She fell from like a house, like half a house high. She's shrunken down. Like imagine like falling from that high when you're shrunk down, right? So she survives the fall. She apparently, like people bleed out and die. She apparently just didn't bleed out and die. Also, she stayed several days on the lawn, unconscious and bleeding, and no animals took her body. Are you joking? In my own backyard, sometimes rats or like little squirrels or something will like, I have a pear tree in my backyard. They always eat our pears, and like some of them choke. The pears are so hard that like squirrels and things will like choke on the pears, and their bodies will be lying there. And then we're like, oh, we're gonna, tomorrow's garbage day. We're gonna have to throw it in the garbage or whatever. And then we'll wake up the next day, and animals obviously saw the dead body and took it away like immediately. So like it was bullshit. There's no way she would have lived that. There's no way animals didn't kill her. And then you also have the Duke who could have just ran off, and all he would have had to do was run to the sidewalk and find somebody who could save him, or like bring media attention to the solar opposites and like, snitch on them. So the Duke, I didn't like what they did with the Duke. I didn't like that at all. I think like any sane person would have just like found help. They would have like, if you got shrunk by an alien, any sane person would have ran out to the sidewalk and called anyone for help. You know what I mean? So that was just silly. And then the solar episodes, oh my god, the solar opposites almost got an Xbox. That was a pretty good one. That's the season finale, but they do leave it on a cliffhanger. So that was probably one of the better ones. But I think overall my favorite this season was either the original first episode, The Sacred Non-Repeating Numbers, and what was the other one? The Rad Awesome Terrific. No, is that the one? Yeah. The Rad Awesome Terrific Ray is a pretty good one, and the Lake House Device was pretty good. And the Apple Pencil Pro was so those are the 4 good ones. The other one's not so good, but this show has continuity between episodes, so you need to watch all the episodes. Just letting you guys know that. But yeah, so Solar Opposites, as you can see here, it's been out since March 26th. I just wanted to let you guys know that, this show's out. Go watch it. I kind of gave a bit of a review there, but, go ahead. Give me your thoughts and comments down below. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a like. Give me a share. Give me a subscribe. Hey. Anyways, guys, so that's going to be it from me. I'm probably going to use this image as the thumbnail because that's a really good one. And is there anything else I want to say? Yeah, I almost forgot to say, there was too many Hulu jokes. I'll just repeat that again. Too many Hulu jokes in the show. They literally crack jokes, like the 10 of them, about how like Hulu didn't give them enough money, or like they make a whole bunch of jokes about Hulu. Just go watch it and you'll see what I'm talking about. So yeah, this season the aliens were much more interesting than what was happening in the wall. I just didn't think the wall ended off in a good place. Yeah, so that's going to be my thoughts on that. Hopefully they don't, they're going to do the wall again probably, but like, do you really need to? They left it on a cliffhanger, so I guess they could do another season. They have to do another season of it, but like, it's getting a little bit tired. They even made a joke about it. They're like, oh, you're still doing that wall thing? Isn't that a bit tired? And yeah, now it's getting a little tired. Or like, at least if you're going to do it, make the stories more interesting. Don't pull some bullshit where it's like, oh, Sherry's still alive and the Duke is still out there, and like it's some gibberish. So there we go. I'm going to end the video here. Oh man, we went on for 20 minutes. Yeah, so that's it. Sandro out. Bye-bye.